have the 3 baby Angoras, and I'm going to show you how I go ahead and I start getting used to being a groom. I use basically just the dog grooming tools, toenail clippers, combs, a slicker brush, a detangler, and and I use a small shop vac for blowing their fur. Now, when they get bigger and their wool gets longer, you won't want to comb it unless you're wanting to remove the wool, because if you comb it, it comes out, and if you're wanting to leave it long and fluffy and not any mats, you'll want to use the blower. And I always start them out when they're little, even though they really don't need that right now, but I go ahead and get them used to the sound of it. So we're going to get started, and basically I just take a slicker brush and gently just comb them out. As much as you can see, I've brushed them before, but they don't mind. Want to be careful of their eyes, because they're so fuzzy you can't find them sometimes, so you don't want to accidentally get into their eyes. You can just gently lay them over on their back, and they'll lay there. And when you do their feet, be gentle, because they're tender and touchy about their feet. So if you see anything in their wool, here's a little piece of straw. You can just remove it out of there. And today is the first day that they get introduced to the blower, so I'm just going to turn it on. These two over here were kind of scared by the noise, but this one wasn't scared. He took it really well. And if you want to comb him a little bit, that's okay too. At this age, he's not going to shed his wool, but I see no tangles, no mats. Now, if I was going to clip their toenails, I would lay them in between my legs or gently squeeze their ears just a little bit to hold them in place. But once they're on their back, they pretty much lay still. And pull up a toenail, and I just clip that little bitty tip. That just kind of gets that sharp point off of there so they don't scratch you. There he is. Now, we'll go ahead and we'll get one of these and do the same. So they all get used to the vacuum, the sound of the vacuum cleaner. Once they see it's not going to hurt them, they won't mind at all. It's really not a hard thing to do. If you're going to show them and you want that long wool, you'd be wanting to blow them probably every day, every other day if you're going to show them. And if you're wanting to keep the wool so you can have it long for spinning the wool later, which is what I do, why then you want to go ahead and you want to make sure that they're kept really good with the blower and remove any rats or anything that they might get. Now, if you're not wanting the wool, you just want the little bunny for a pet, and you don't care about the wool, and it gets too long, you don't want to fool with it, then you can just trim it off, and they'll look like Wally on that video, Wally. So we're going to try again here and see how this one's going to do. I always cover their eyes with my hand as well. I don't want to blow into their eyes. The more you blow them, the more they're going to get used to that sound. And that's just a really gentle, because you don't want to hurt them. You just want to get that fur to where it is nice and fluffy.